Hey everyone, it's Grow with Joe here to give you daily lessons. The goal is to come here every 9 a.m. My time, right? I'm in Colombian time. So in October, this is going to be a little bit different because Colombia doesn't do a daylight savings. But here, if you don't know about Grow with Joe, that's me, myself. It's a financial planning firm that combines financial planning with self-development coaching. Your one-stop shop to help you with all your growth needs, to help you grow yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And and today's lesson is going to be about time management. Time management to me is very important because life is short and we want to make sure that we're getting most of the important stuff that we want to accomplish. And so, what I'm going to do today is share my 5 tips on what I do to help me accomplish a lot of stuff. So, in the process of writing a book, writing scripts, doing podcasts, running a business, doing my MBA, and everything. So I need to make sure my time management is good to go. So my first tip to help me with time management is use my calendar. So there's something called time blocking that I do. So the next for the next day, what I do is I look at my day and say, hey, what is the most important thing that I want to accomplish? And to me, those are things like writing, those are things like marketing, doing client meetings, doing financial plans, and I make sure that those items are on my calendar. And for small stuff like going to the dry cleaners, doing laundry, doing organizing your desk, like mowing the lawn, those are to me not big item tasks. So I do not put those on my calendar. If I can get to them, then I can get to them. But the idea is you want to put those big items on your calendar first. So for today, I was like, hey, I'm finally going to start doing Facebook Lives and YouTube Lives. So I'm be like, hey, it's on the calendar at 9 a.m. and I'm just going to keep it on here until and just keep spreading this message uh, of Grow with Joe and help you grow your inner circle success so you get that outer circle success. Other things are on my calendar is I still need to write. I still need to work out. Working out is something that I always add, and reading as well. Put on my calendar, and if it's not on the calendar, then it's not going to happen. And that's the key thing is you want to be intentional with your schedule. If you're casual about your schedule, you're going to end up a casualty because you're not going to accomplish everything that you want to accomplish, or you're going to accomplish things that are small that are not very valuable. So you got to realize that not every dollar is created equally. You got to spend your time on you spend your hour on the thing that's the most valuable, and then figure the other stuff out. Uh, Second way I use my second tip for time management is using Evernote. I use Evernote to help me organize all my information. I got the premium version. Uh, Evernote is used to help me organize all my information. I love the Evernote extension. So anytime there's an article on online, instead of creating a bookmark, I use the web clipper and I put it into my notebook. And you can add tags to it. So like, hey, this is for productivity. Hey, this is for marketing. And then, so when I go into Evernote, I can quickly find information. So that really helps me with my time management is, hey, if I write something down, I want to be able to find it quickly. So yesterday, a friend reached out and wanted to know about stock options. And I was like, I haven't looked at that for a while, but I did save a couple articles on stock options in my Evernote, so I can just quickly go in there, find that information, and then spread it. So in this new economy, it's about how to find information the fastest and how can you make quicker decisions with yourself. Do this, and uh, you're going to be a lot better off. Third tip for time management is focus on the most valuable task. You want to focus on the most valuable task because we only have 24 hours a day. Like I said, only not every dollar is created equally, and you could spend 1 hour making $100, or you could spend 10 hours making that same $100. And for me, myself, I rather learn how to make $100 in 1 hour instead of 10 hours to make $100. So you got to figure out, okay, what is the most valuable use of my time? So, and just look at your life and just figure out where you want to go and everything. Like for myself here, I'm a digital nomad here in Medellin, Colombia, and it's pretty cheap. But I'm still making US dollars and but I'm spending in pesos. So it only costs to rent this apartment. It cost me 425 to 450 a month. I haven't cooked or cleaned in 9 months, and doing all that, I spend $1,000 a month. And so with my job, I only have to work about 8 hours to gate this lifestyle. So that gives me a whole bunch of free time to work on all this creative stuff. And that's because I learned, not to trade my time for money. And that's the key thing. Don't trade your time for money. If you want more control over your life, figure out what is the most valuable task that you can do that give you more control over your life. No one's going to care if your email box is at zero, but they're going to care about, hey, did you finish that report? Hey, did you get that presentation done? And everything. So my third tip is focus on the most valuable tasks. Realize that not every dollar is created equally. And my fourth tip to help you with time management is use your smart assistant to help set reminders. And then, so I have an Android phone, and anytime I'm like, oh, I need to do something, I'd be like, okay, Google, remind me to send this email out in 1 hour or tomorrow. And then when I get the reminder, make sure you do it right away. It's really easy to hit the skip
All
button.
right, I'll remind you at 10:10 a.m.
There it goes right there. Um, but the idea is we forget stuff, and the fortune's in the follow-up. So the more you can follow up yourself with those more important tasks, the better off you're going to be. Uh, I feel like there's this good sales letter out there that says most salespeople or most people fail. 50% of people don't follow up, and out of those, a big portion stop following up after the first time. So it really takes like 8 to 12 times to follow up with somebody to get what you want. So just realize that fortune's in the follow up, and having a reminder system. I use Evernote. I use my smart assistant on my Android phone to help me remind me to, like, hey, do this thing. You could use other things. They have a system in Evernote that gives you that same ability. But the key thing is fortunes in the follow up. You want to have some system. You could use a notebook, you could use a whiteboard, but use something to help you remind yourself to help you do these things down the road. And when it's time to do those things, you do those things. My last tip for time management is Zapier. If you don't know what Zapier is, it is automation software. You can get 5 free zaps a month, and they could do 100 tasks. And so what I use Zapier is to have 2 applications talk to each other. And this saves me a lot of time. So anytime someone signs up for my webinar, instead of like collecting that information from that webinar and putting it into my CRM system, copy and pasting, that takes a lot of time. Zapier, what it does, it automatically takes that information over here and puts it over here. They have a lot of different zaps to do a lot of different things. It could save you tons of time. So I recommend everyone just go to Zapier.com and sign up just for the free version. Just figure out, okay, how can I use different zaps to help me improve my productivity? And it's pretty easy. You don't have to know any coding or anything. You just say, hey, let me log into this system, and then this is what I wanted to do. And then from there, I wanted to have that information over here go into this other application over here. And this is just going to save me so much time. So if I had to do move 20 for my webinar web registrations, move them over here and put that information into my MailChimp to add to my newsletter, that could take a lot of time. But now it's done instantaneously, and it saves me 5 minutes. And if I say 5 minutes here, 5 minutes over here, 5 minutes over here, I could save myself 15 minutes an hour. And then I could start doing more valuable stuff like creating content or following up with clients and everything. But yeah, those are my 5 tips to help you with time management. So the first tip is use your calendar. So if it's not on your calendar, you're probably not going to do it. And the key thing is you want to be intentional. If you're casual about your life, casual about your finances, casual about anything, I like to say you end up a casualty. So if it's not on my calendar, it's not going to happen. So that helps me be more intentional. My second tip for time management is Evernote. So Evernote is where I store all my information so I can get to it quickly. So if there's anything that I need to collect for my financial planning business, for personal development, for productivity, for writing, is all in there, and I can quickly grab it and everything. I also journal in there, so that makes things real easy. So that's and my phone's always on me. It has a web application, so you can do it on the desktop as well. Um, my third tip for time management is focus on the most important stuff first. If you can do the most important stuff first, then if you can make $100 an hour, you're going to solve a lot of problems. And if you do this, like no one's going to care that you didn't do this $10 task or whatever. So do that. Fourth tip is use a smart assistant to follow up with your goals or those tasks that you need to do. Uh, or you can use some other application to say, hey, let me follow up with that email in a week from now. And most people suck with following up. But if you could follow up, that could definitely give you a lot of a big advantage. And you got to realize it takes 8 to 12 times to follow up with somebody to get what you want. So um, the fortune's in the follow up. And my fifth tip is use Zapier. Zapier can save you a lot of time. You get 5 free zaps, and if you can save yourself 10 minutes an hour every hour for the day, you can save yourself an hour and 20 minutes, and then you can give yourself more time to learn more things and everything. But yeah, just it's a learning curve is Zapier, but once you get it, you're like, oh, I'm never gonna go back. Definitely saves a lot of time. And you can use stuff that goes in your email and you can put it automatically into Google Drive or to Dropbox. It talks to a lot of different systems. But those are my 5 tips. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about a personal finance tip to help you grow your money. So hope you enjoyed today's webinar or live. And remember, if you go with Joe, you can grow with Joe because Joe knows dough. All right, take care. Hey, Tay. How's everything going? All right, I'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.